Hello everybody, this is pt.10 and welcome back to some more Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Turnabout Succession. In the previous episode, we had wrapped up the case from 7 years ago, and we saw how Phoenix lost his attorney's badge through a trap. A trap that was sprung by someone in the form of a notebook page. And it seems that the case that we were covering with Vera Misham and the case 7 years ago are closely linked. And that is where our investigation begins. If you like what you see, leave a like down below, comment if you have anything to say, subscribe to me if you haven't already, and share with your friends that can join in on this adventure. Now, we have two sets of timelines. We have 7 years ago, and we have present day. Four keys 7 years ago and 4 keys present day, all leading to the final trial. We have nothing for current day, so we have 7 years ago, and let us start off in the detention center shortly after the case has ended. The nightmare trial was over, and the new nightmare of figuring out what happened had just begun. I wanted to wake up, to walk away, but I figured I'm the only one who could do this. Probably. And besides, I had plenty of time, thanks to the Bar Association Review Board's decision. It's hard to work when your attorney's badge has been taken away. 7 years ago, detention center, visitor's room. What strange sight doth my eyes behold? Excuse me? Two men on either side of a single transparent pane. Yet it seems fickle fate has switched sides, so to speak. The forger of fakes walks freely, while the innocent languishes within these plexiglass confines. There's been no proof that I forged anything. No proof that I took the life of my dear mentor. Yet these chains cannot hold me for long. The stage awaits, and what, may I ask, awaits you? A little piano and a cold little hole in the wall. But since you are here, what shall we discuss? The shooting of Magnified Graham Reed, for one. Who pulled that trigger? Valent or his partner Zach? His partner vanished before the answer could be found. If I'm going to get any closer to the truth, this is the place to start. Alright, let's talk to him. I have to hand it to my partner. He knows how to make an exit. That's talent. Yes, he made my attorney's badge disappear and he never even touched it. Glory's spotlight always leaves someone weeping in the shadows. Yet his very disappearance is itself a revelation. Revealing what? Zach Graham Reed killed Magnify. It's as good as a signed confession. That's certainly been the public opinion's take on it. I grow tired of my cage, and the time of my release is near. I must go and prepare. Planning on jumping back into the magic right away? As long as an audience waits with bated breath, there will be violence. And also, yes, now that my partner has disappeared, Magnify's repertoire is mine. Valent Graham Reed has a tradition to uphold. Is that true? Seen in this light, the trial was quite good to me, verdict or no. And you can't pay for that kind of publicity. The suspicion on you hasn't lifted entirely, Valent. After all, you received one of those letters too. You were just as obligated to follow Magnify's instructions as your partner. So I was, but only Zach Graham Reed followed them. Let us speak any more of who shot what. Now that my partner has vanished, the question is moot. I'm more interested in learning something else, actually. What might that be? I want to know what Magnify had up his sleeve. How could he coerce you and your partner to kill him? The trick up his sleeve. Perhaps you do not know. Know what? A great magician never reveals his secrets. Oh no. How many? Oh god, we got 4. I didn't think it would be that easy. The audience must remain forever in the audience, bathing in the reflected glow of the spotlight. My Magatama, one of my most prized possessions, which I got during a certain case, it can show me the locks on people's hearts. And if I can unlock their hearts, they'll tell me their secrets. The Magatama starts it all, and the Magatama ends it. Trick up a sleeve. I'm flying by the seat of my pants on this one. There must be a path leading from the evidence to the truth. And that's what I'm going to find. To ask someone to take a life, even one not long for this world, that's asking someone to commit murder. Yes, our mentor was fond of dramatic moves and dramatic finales. Yet he's got his wish, his life was taken. What weaknesses could be so powerful as to coerce someone into committing murder? I guess it was a matter of life or death. Care to explain? Or care to explain? Your troupe lived in a world of showmanship. The flashier the better. And flashy so often means danger, doesn't it? Let us make this as painless as possible. If you have proof of this danger, then show it. Why, that's one of ours. Specially designed for your show, I gather. A single bullet, one shot. What are you suggesting? We are magicians, Mr. Wright, not murderers. I'm not crying murder, Mr. Valent. I'm crying something far more tragic. An accident. Zack and Valent's quick draw shoot him. How long has it been since those shots were last heard? Was the shooting cancelled because someone might get hurt? Of course. What other reason could there be? Well, it could have been cancelled because someone had already been hurt. Fascinating. My Faustian forging friend. But tell me, what can you prove with a single pistol? Well, tell me what would have happened if there had been an accident. What if one of your bullets took a life on stage? The performance of magic is not concerned with what-ifs. It is concerned with precision. Precisely whom do you claim we shot? Looks like I've chosen the right path. Just hope he walks it with me. A life was sacrificed so the show might go on, and this shows who it was. We don't have that yet. I may not have enough evidence right now to pull this off. Maybe it's time to do a little more legwork. Okay, so now we need to figure out who was shot. I know who was shot, but I don't have anything to prove it yet. Let's go over to the defendant lobby then. 7 years ago, District Court, defendant lobby number 2. Didn't think I'd be back here for a while. I didn't want to have to remember that day. I'm simply regretting to declare verdict this way. The trial is over. Your Honor. Regret much about it? There's one thing I wish to make clear. Today in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. What are you talking about? I'm talking about this. Mr. Enigmar! Defense escaped. Find him quick. Brother. On the double! He must not be allowed to escape! When I came here on that fateful morning, I had my badge, but now, like an amputated limb, I can still feel it itching. Where do I start? I don't even have the authority to investigate. Hey, you there, sir! Down on the hands, floor on your head, down. What's the big idea? Oh, my ears. No unauthorized personnel are allowed in here. But that would mean all unauthorized personnel are allowed. Zoink! I just say it like it is, sir, and it's usually wrong. Thrown out of my precinct, lost my friends, my girl, even my wallet. We've met before, haven't we? On a case 2 years ago? No recollection of that, sir. Huh? For me, working on a case is always in the present progressive tense, sir. There's no past, only now, sir. Okay, you're the bailiff, right? Yes, sir. Court bailiff Mike Beacon's at your service, sir. I've asked to meet with the bailiff at this court who let the magician escape. Let me try to make this absolutely clear as possible for you, sir. It was me, sir. But you were a regular police officer once, right? Sometimes bad things happen to good people, sir. Something tells me it's a long story. Let's not go there. So you were in charge of security at the time of the vanishing? I'm dying over here. Oh, it's a hard, dark life, sir. Turned out of the precinct, lost my friends, my girl, and even my wallet. Guess I wasn't the only victim. Hi, Meekins. We've run into you a couple of times over the course of these games. Last time we met, you were a police officer, right? In fact, you're still wearing your uniform. Oh, he's from... fucking... the case with Emma and Lana Skye. Throw on my Turnabout as the one. I can't remember what it was. It was the 5th case of the first game. The one that they only did in the remake. To make Emma more connected, I suppose. Sir, I wish I didn't have to tell you this, but last year tragedy struck at a rising star at the precinct. I lost my case files 4 times in 3 days. They fired me. It takes real talent, actually. I don't know what they were missing. So here I am, sir, first to start from square one at lowly bailiff. But your uniform. I took it with me as a souvenir the day I was fired. That can't be legal. So you were the one who let the magician get away that day. I'm dying over here. A rising star among the court bailiffs, full of hope, then tragedy strikes. Is there anything you can tell me about it? About Zach Emery's disappearance? Oh, the humanity! That's enough of that. Oh yes, I'd say it was around 2 p.m. when I heard the commotion in court. I opened the door to see what might be amiss. The door slams open. Slam! And some guy's face is right there in front of me. Face! So you saw someone suspicious coming your way. Yes, and I, being a bailiff of little standing, I gave chase. I chased that silk cat all the way down the hall, sir. I have a diagram of the court I have a diagram of the court building here. Aha, there's courtroom number 7 where I was, sir. All by myself, nary a friend to call my own. Okay, and which way did Zach Emery run after bursting through the courtroom door? He went up like this and around the corner like that. So I, with no delay, ran after him with no delay. When I turned the corner, I saw the magician man run into the defendant lobby. Swiftly I ran. Following him, I threw myself boldly into the room. Why, I remember it was right here, because it was lobby number 2, sir. You ran into this room? Huh, I don't see any place to hide here. Believe it or not, sir, I didn't believe it. Here, in this room, the magician, gone, vanished like a puff of smoke. Except there wasn't even any smoke, he was just gone. That's impossible. Yes, that word, I've said it many times. Even the sound of it caused me indescribable pain. I'm dying over here. Okay, I won't say it again, promise. But you have to admit, it's difficult to vanish into thin air. Did you search the lobby? I searched. Why the pause? There was nothing here at all, sir. That's right, nothing was here, sir. Can you talk so loud and still be hiding something? So Zach was in this room when he vanished. Absolutely, sir. I saw with my own eyes. That red silk hat, that flowing cape. He ran right in here, right inside this room. Silk hat, cape. That's Zach, all right. But sir, look at the room. There's not a single place to hide. Sir, there was nothing I could do, but nothing, sir. What about now? Have any ideas? Sir! Ideas about what exactly, sir, if you don't mind me asking? I've had quite a bit of time since then. Has nothing occurred to you at all? Do you have any idea what trick he might have used to disappear like that? Oh, great. Here we go again. Psyche locks. I should have known. Alright, let's see what we can do. Can we unlock anything right now? The disappearing trick. Okay, Mr. Meekins. What do you know? Spit it out. Hey, what's with that atmosphere here all of a sudden? You know something, and I'm going to find out what. Zachary vanished from this room. How'd he do it? How, sir? Well, sir, I can't say Sir, why are you so nervous if you weren't hiding something? Well, sir, you see, all the time, sir, I was here and... Listen, it was impossible. What could such a little girl possibly do anyway? What did you just say? Yeah, sir, did I say something, sir? No, you screamed it through that megaphone of yours. There was someone else in the room, wasn't there? Sir, I'm going to have to invoke my right to remain in a state of not talking. It's okay, Meekins. You don't have to tell me who Zach's accomplice was. I knew who was here in the room that day. None other than... Oh, they both had the same outfit, too. Look at that. It was Suzie. Sir, I've never seen that girl until just the other day. Mr. Meekins, I'm not buying it. Sir! So that day, she was here in the room, sir. But he wasn't. You mean you chased her into this room, not him? Sir, in my days as a police officer, literally days, I learned a thing or two. Okay, just one thing, but it was how not to mistake a girl for a 7-foot-tall magician. 7 feet? Zach isn't that tall, is he? You have a point. I find it hard to imagine anyone would mistake a little girl for Zach Marie. But you saw something. And therein lies the trick. I think you know what it was, Mr. Meekins. Tell me, does this trick look familiar? We don't have that either. I know what the trick is. Alright. Alright, so we have 2 psyche locks right now. Okay, back to the law offices. 7 years ago, Wright & Co. law offices. Oh, morning, Daddy. So glad you came. You okay, Daddy? They picking on you? I'm fine as always. The old boy is here to help me after all. That's young man to you. Good morning. God damn it. Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on. Thanks. My first show's today, after all. 2 weeks had passed since then. I called her into my office. Oh, it's been 2 weeks. Wow. Suzie, there's something we need to talk about. It's been 2 weeks since your father disappeared. We need to start thinking about your future. Did some rolling around. It's hard to say, but you have no living relatives. So, I was wondering if you wanted to stay with me for a while. Just until your daddy comes home. It won't be long. I hope. Of course, it's totally your choice. If you don't like it here, you can go wherever you'd like. You can look up some places you might like to stay at. This is so weird. Mr. Attorney, Daddy told me about you. He said I could trust you. Huh? Really? So if I stay here, does that mean you'll be my family? Huh? I guess so. Getting weirder. Mr. Attorney. Actually, why don't you call me Nick? Or you can call me Daddy if you like. It doesn't have to be today or anything. Okay, say Daddy. That was quick. Yes? If I move here, I have to switch schools, right? And I was thinking, I haven't paid for lunches at my last school for a year. So thanks, Daddy. Oh, and this office, it's a bit blah. A little color goes a long way, you know. Oh, and Daddy, you got fired from work, right? Don't you worry one bit. I work twice as hard. We'll make it through this. Suzie, how old are you? Oh, I'm 8. But don't let appearances deceive you. I'm a young professional. Stick with me and you'll do just fine, Daddy. Thanks. Why does it feel like she's already in charge? So, Daddy, you got fired from being a lawyer, right? You could at least kind of look aside when you say that or something. It's actually kind of hard for me, for Daddy. Oh, I'm sorry, Daddy. Wait, is that foolish pride? My other daddy always used to talk about that. Actually, that's pretty accurate. So, here's my idea. We'll make a new office. Law seems just so stiff, doesn't it? And no one will be my friend at school that way. Well, that won't do, I guess. I just don't know much about anything other than law. Or even much about law if you were to ask some people. Maybe the problem is calling it an office. We should run an agency instead. You mean, like a talent agency? Forgive me for asking, but doesn't that require talent? You got me, don't you? I'm a professional. A professional? Yep. After all, I'm directly descended from the famous Sacramento. Directly descended. He's your father. Oh, and now I'm directly descended from a famous Phoenix Wright, too. I think an 8-year-old just massaged my ego. So, Suzie, you're a professional. Yes, it's like that thing they say. Baby frogs grow up to be frogs? They say that? I always thought it was funny, though. What was? Aren't baby frogs called tadpoles? Maybe they just thought it would be easier to understand that way for kids. How stupid. Right, so in conclusion, you're a professional magician, Suzie. That's right. Well, what do you see, Trick? You're going to do a magic trick? Yeah, sure, why not? Actually, I would like to see your trick. The future of the agency depends on it, after all. That's the spirit. Ready? Here it goes. Ta-da!
Hey, folks, it's Mr. Hat. I gotta say, it's good to be seen.
Ah!
What? Whoa, that was pretty startling.
The amazing Mr. Hat, isn't he great?
Your friendly neighborhood Mr. Hat at your service. He certainly makes an impression.
Doesn't he? I'm so glad you like him, Daddy.
Though my routines do get a bit heady sometimes. Ha! Get it? Heady. My friendly neighborhood Mr. Hat nearly gave me a heart attack. Da-da-da-da!
Could you tell me a bit more about your daddy?
Zach Graham-Ray.
Daddy? Sure thing, Daddy.
Which daddy was that again?
Daddy's so amazing. The biggest star of Troop Graham-Ray, and they're big.
The Graham-Rays. They were on television a lot. Haven't seen them on much recently, come to think of it.
Big magic happens when you put Zach and Val and Graham-Ray together, you know. Once they made a giant waterfall right there on stage. And this giant trout swam the giant waterfall.
Let me guess, there was a giant fisherman waiting for him at the top.
I wish I could have seen more of Daddy's magic.
Oh, I shouldn't have brought it up so soon.
I just wonder what'll happen to me with Daddy and Mommy both gone.
Mommy? Yeah, what about Mommy? I haven't heard anything about Suzie's mother.
But I have my magic and great Daddy, even if he is unemployed. You know, I think things are gonna be okay.
I wonder if she'll talk about her mother. Could you tell me more about your Mommy, if it's okay?
Mommy was so pretty. She was like an angel up on the stage.
On stage? You mean with your daddy?
Yep. She was always there with Zach and Val smiling. But then she went away.
Went away?
It was a grand illusion, but she made a mistake. She vanished, and I guess she didn't know how to get back.
Maybe so.
I cried then, a lot. That's when Daddy gave me this. Here.
Wow, this is your mother? She's beautiful.
Her name's Thalissa. Thalissa Graham-Ray.
Poor girl. I didn't know her mommy had gone missing. And now her daddy's vanished too, right before her eyes?
Hey, Daddy,
you won't... Don't worry, I won't vanish, I promise.
Right, you can't even do magic. You're like a backup plan. Daddy always said to have a backup plan.
I guess all I read as is a backup plan. Susie's locket. I think that's probably enough for today. Sorry to ask you so much all at one time.
It's okay. After all, we're family. I hope you're ready. The Right Talent Agency opens tomorrow.
What? But are we representing anyone?
Me and you. That makes two, Daddy.
I think you need more than that to make an agency. Besides, you may be a magician, but I'm no talent.
Oh, I'm sure there's something you're good at.
Well, when you put it that way...
You mean you don't have any tricks? No old standbys? This will not do. A boy should always have a trick or two in his pocket.
Okay, I'll think of something.
That's the spirit. See you bright and early tomorrow, Daddy.
Welcome to the team, Daddy-o! The team. Right. Sometimes when magicians vanish, they leave something behind. That's how Trucy became Trucy Wright, my daughter. To be honest, I was pretty lost those first few days. Thinking back on it, it was a pretty dark time in my life. But Trucy, happy, smiling Trucy, she was my light. Alright. And while I'm thinking about it, let's wrap up Defendant Lobby number 2. Trucy, hi there. And the trick that Trucy used was her one and only trick, the amazing Mr. Hats.
What's that?
That girl's favorite trick, the amazing Mr. Hat. She used it in her show down at the Wonder Bar. At the Wunderbar. Have you been to the Wonder Bar?
So, it wasn't a waking dream, was it, sir?
Come again? That night on stage, I saw a vision, except it wasn't a vision. It was a hat. An amazing Mr. Hat. He really exists. Unlock successful. I remember it clearly, though the details are a little vague. Zachary and Marie exited the courtroom. I gave chase and cornered him in the corner room, sir. Zachary and Marie don't even think you can escape, Akins. Down on your hands, floor on your head. Hello?
Something the matter, mister?
No, that is... Sir, I'm currently chasing a suspect, sir. Zachary and Marie, do you know him?
Oh, I love Zachary. His magic is the best. I'm his biggest fan.
I see, that's why you're wearing that costume you're wearing. Anyway, that very same Zach came into this room.
But no one's been in here except me.
But he has to be here somewhere. Under the sofa, in the trash can, behind the painting, under the rug. So, Trucy was his accomplice. Imagine my astonished surprise when, 1 week later, I just happened to walk into a bar and see him, Mr. Hat. I couldn't believe my eyes. For a while, I thought I had all been a long dream. A dream that lasted a week? But it wasn't the magician who disappeared. It was Mr. Hat. Though it seems complex, what happened that day was quite simple. You were standing by the door and out came Zach. But that wasn't all. Another person got in on the act, and she was standing in front of lobby number 2. Along with Mr. Hat. And isn't that the beauty of it, isn't it? So, while you were standing in shock and amazement, the magician rounds the corner, and most likely runs through the closeted door into lobby number 1, the closest door into lobby number 1. This is where you come in. You turn the corner in rather lukewarm pursuit, and at that very moment, Trucy runs into lobby number 2. Then all she has to do is tuck away amazing Mr. Hat. Sir, I only lost sight of him for the briefest of moments. Then I saw that cape, Zach Gregory's red cape, fluttering like a cape. Astounding, sir! All my days opposing quarries and making inquiries and chasing quarries wasted. Queries, excuse me. It was as I could see them melting away like an ice cream cone left by the side of the road to die, or the scattered remains of a messily eaten chocolate parfait. Such sweet sorrows. I'm sorry.
I had no idea you'd suffered on account of this case. It's an honor, sir. I've apologized to people many times, sometimes more than once. But this is the first time anyone's ever apologized to me. Actually, about that girl, I'm sort of her guardian now. Is that so? Sir, you should know that I harbor no ill feelings whatsoever in my harbor. Okay. I let the defendant escape, and that's the stone cold truth. Just another step on my way from singing the blues to wearing the blues. Someday, sir, I'll be standing side by side with the great Detective Gumshoe. Mr. Meekins, it's a free ticket to the show at the Wonder Bar. If you want, it's an honor, sir. Sir, I can't count the number of things I had taken from me, sir, but no one's ever given me anything for free. Right, I'll see you in court next time then, sir. I look forward to it. All eyes were on Zach Ramree that day in court, until his mysterious disappearance. Now part of the mystery has been revealed, but the magician remained out of sight. It would be 7 years before I met him again. Alright, 2 down here. Oh! Did we unlock something? The Borscht Bowl Club. Ah. Before we end everything off, got one more thing to do, and that's back in the detention center. Obviously, we're not going to get Valent to crack all the way, but we can see what we need next. Here we go! But that's Zachariah's wife and Trucy's mother. Talassa, I believe was her name. Alakazar! But how can you say that? How can you say that she was struck by one of our bullets? Still in denial, Moda. Talassa was at the greatest risk of being shot, and this clearly shows how much danger she was in. Nope! I know what we need for this. But we won't get it now. So, I think next time we'll start by going over to Drew's studio and finding out what we can. Probably talking to Drew Misham himself. And that'll be it for today. I like this. I really like this, like, back and forth type of thing. I mean, it's really just a normal investigation, but it's kind of shorter. It's more precise. But I digress. We're going to end it off here for today. In the next episode of Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney, Turnabout Succession, we move over to Drew's studio. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys later.